Does Micro play tonight, Shane?
I think he does. I don't know when.
Yeah. We're trying to, we love Micro. He's a great player. But for the sake of the YouTube channel, we like to bounce around to different factions and different players. There was probably like a 3-week span where it was just all our battle reports had Micro and them playing Astra Militarum, so kind of want to take an opportunity to highlight some different players and some different factions. But yeah, that would be another top game. Right, he's fighting for a spot for top 4, Shane?
Yes, he is playing James K, Thousand Suns player.
Ah, that's right.
So it looks like that Clavex is going to fit through between the wall and that rack, so that's pretty important for his efforts.
Absolutely. That Clavex will more likely than not, I don't want to jinx it now, but odds are he kills that Orc and he'll be able to consolidate onto the point there.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. He doesn't want to get too close because then he could get charged by one of those knobs up there. So Luz is contemplating the rest of his moves now. I would imagine that Akathist is also going to charge in. Just to get closer to the middle and be safe from the Scorcha over there?
Yeah. Looks to me like he's contemplating all of ARH's potential moves first.
Yeah, I've got to get back in the commentary mode. It's been so chaotic that I kind of forgot we were supposed to commentate a game.
Yeah, we were too busy playing a drinking game. All right, so yeah, the combat Akathist is going to charge on in. Just a reminder, for the player's secondaries, ARH has chosen high-profile targets, Scout the Field, and Attrition. Luz has taken Attrition, Domination, and Proximity Alert.
Yeah, so that Akathist made its way up, kind of like I expected. That is a super dead Orc, boy. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. he doesn't seem to be long for this world. Night Fiend Leader is advancing way over.
Not sure what the intent is with that move with the Night Fiend leader over in the bottom
Yeah.
left. But
The only thing that I can think of at this point is some sort of just like misdirection in deployment.
so this Night or this Mandrake over here that's moving now,
yeah.
it is going to be in. It's basically in no man's land with no connection to its fellow Drukhari.
Yeah.
And there are 6 orc boys over over there.
Yeah, it's
Just ready.
yeah, I don't think we'll see all the orc boys go and try to take him off the point. It seems like at least 2 of them are going to get on that kind of center objective here. And then the rest will probably go out, or they'll go in and open the other door. Yeah, I feel like right now Luz has won the muster. Or I should say ARH has won the muster, excuse me.
I like this move with the rack gunner to kind of just sneak up behind the rack there. It basically he's covering the whole middle objective, and the only real threat, like shooting threat that ARH has to possibly threaten the rack gunner is the Scorcha, which is the same range as the rack gunner. So if ARH wants to shoot the rack gunner with that Scorcha, he's going to have to get within liquefier range because they're the same range, and Luz with initiative is going to get to shoot first. So that'll be interesting, and it'll be an obscured shot, so he'll get that demo bonus.
Yeah. And ARH, he won't even have the option to decisive shot with that orc boss knob because he's already spent 1 CP on that veteran move.
Or not veteran move,
Or
actually
on that decisive move. Yeah, excuse me.
So, yep, moving those orcs up. I'm kind of surprised that ARH isn't just taking the free objective on the middle, but I guess it makes sense to both take the one on the outside and deny the one that Luz is holding.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also moving his orcs in a way that the Night Fiend will get shots, and I don't know why you would give shots. Like, he could have just hugged the other side of the objective and been out of LOS to that model, unless he wants to shoot the Night Fiend, which not sure if I would look to do that so soon.
Chat wants to know if we prefer 125 points over 100 points. Yes. And why? More
just opens up a lot more models.
Yeah.
And I found that elites personally do a lot better at 125, whereas at 100 they're basically not at all viable.
Yeah.
So. So here's the first orc boy. And the second one on that side gets a much better advance. That's 12 inches that he gets to go.
Yeah. So now this Mandrake is standing not out in the open, but it's going to be losing the point to these 2 orcs. And they'll be able to put 4 shots into it with their Assault 2 weapons. Hitting on 6s, of course. But that's what orcs do. They always hit on 6s, so. Big ol' advance for that orc boy.
Yeah, another 12 inch.
Watch my elo go up like GameStop when we switch to 125, says Chris. Chris, are you academic Chris over in the Discord?
I believe it is, yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
I'm right there with you, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Not that my elo has been suffering, it's just that I cannot bring myself to play 100 points kill team anymore. I really can't do it.
Yeah.
And that includes ranked games, so.
These orcs are getting crazy good advances.
Yeah, you play Orks enough and you start to find that even the bad advances are crazy good, although in ARH's instance right now, he's actually rolling lots of 5s and 6s, so that's 12, 13-inch advances. And these Orcs, they don't even suffer the penalty to advancing with their assault weapons. That's one thing that people forget about with Evil Sons. Not that it's going to really matter against the Mandrakes, because it's 6s no matter what, but
it's nice to have. Makes shooty orcs a lot more viable because of that.
Yeah, he's setting up kind of nicely right now for Scout the Field.
Yeah. I think he's got one orc boy, his demo specialist, and his combat specialist left to move.
So he's just going to ready up the Scorcher there, outside of 8 inches, I think, of the liquefier. It's not going to have anything to shoot at.
Yeah, I'm I'm perplexed by that. It looks like I think it may have been Luz who just measured that out. Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, he will get to fire his the shooter profile on the Scorchip, but
True.
2 shots on 6s, strength 4. It's not the highest percentage.
Excuse my typing, chat.
He's also readied up the Boss Knob combat spec. So one thing with the Night Fiend that I'm looking at that Luz could potentially do is fire and fade onto that objective on the left and potentially hold that.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh. I think that Rat Gunner just took a flesh wound from the shooting of the Boys Knob.
Oh,
he just killed it.
just CP re-rolled it. Now it's dead.
Wow, the shooter on that thing. I was just talking about how that's an unlikely scenario, but that happened. So
Yeah, blink and you miss it.
oh, and he's splitting shots right now, and he actually wasn't able to hit either of the boys on that side over with his mandrakes shooting. Kind of surprised that Luz didn't re-roll that armor save. Although I guess, I mean, you have to feel no pain. It's a 5-up to kill. Just pretty unfortunate situation there for him.
Yeah. And you know, he doesn't have that many models to begin with.
Yeah.
So I think rerolling the armor save there would have been worth it.
Yeah, and he's got 2 CP banked. So
Like,
it looks like the Orc Boy is firing at the Night Fiend leader back here. No hits. Now Luz is going to get a shot of his own. I would imagine he's going to turn to... Oh, it looks like he's going to fire with the... Yeah, okay. So this Mandrake over here on this point, he might be splitting shots right now.
yeah.
Yeah, he's going to put one onto each of these 2 boys here. Although, yeah, they're both in the points, so...
First one's a hit.
Yeah, first one's a hit. Does not wound, though. He's really struggling to wound these guys. And he doesn't hit with the other shot. So 4 Bell Blast shots so far, 0 hits. Now the it looks like that Orc Boy on the left is also going to fire at the Night Fiend, so no hits. And I think all that's left is the Night Fiend, who's going to be hitting on 5s at best. Yeah, 5s, advanced, obscured. And short range, so splitting the shots, doesn't hit on the first one. Doesn't hit on the other one, so all of the shots that that Luz just made have whiffed.
Are we going to see a fire and fade here?
Now let's see, does it make a difference? So right now, yeah, I mean, I think it does make a difference, because if you expect to hold this middle point, well, maybe not. No, it won't make a difference, because ARH is going to hold this objective and this objective. Luz will probably end up holding the middle.
Yep.
And just denying this would still put him in a situation where he's holding 1 and ARH is holding 2, and thus more. So it wouldn't be worth it to fire and fade here.
Looks like we've still got some more Orcs shooting.
Yeah, there's going to be quite a few shots coming in from the Orcs over here on this side. This Mandrake here is actually in quite a bit of danger.
Yeah. It's about to eat 4 shooter shots? Is that
Actually,
right?
6. They're trying to figure out if this veteran can see him. I don't think he can, but...
Yeah, doesn't look like it.
I think they're agreeing. So we're going to go 6 shooter shots right here, actually, from the guys right now. Nothing. Next boy. Remember, these are all hitting on 6s just because of Mandrake. A lot of 5s being rolled for the Orcs, but no 6s. Oh, speak of the devil, there's a 6. This is going to wound on a 3. It gets the wound. So here's a 5-up in Vuln, which he nabs. It's pretty important there. So, was it ARH you said had attrition?
Yes, I believe so.
So it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get attrition, assuming this Orc Boy in the middle gets diced up in a second. So Luz is going to get to fight first here. If I'm him, I'm starting with the Akathis, just to have the highest chance of getting the kill before it gets to swing back.
Yep.
That's 2 hits there. It's a poison weapon, so it always wounds on 4. He does get 1 wound. That's going to cut right through the T-shirt save of the Orc, and it's 2 damage.
Picks it
He
up.
gets the kill. Yeah, so he's going to hold this middle objective. He's going to get his domination, which is pretty important.
Whoa!
Whoa. That was weird.
I think ARH was moving him. was moving the model, or picked it up on accident when he was going for the token.
So he's going to move that guy up. He's probably going to move the Playvex up as well. It just creates this weird situation where he's probably going to have to charge that
that flamer, yeah, or that Scorcha.
Flamer. So if I'm Luz, I'm setting up my models right now in the consolidates and pylons and so on in a way that I can charge the flamer with this basic rack here, but make sure that the rack is within an inch of obscuring cover. So that's like the least risk possible, and it's unlikely to die.
Yeah. Because that.
And then once you get that charge through, the floodgate's pretty much open for the other two models.
Right. Because that Scorcha, it is strength 5, so the demo bonus doesn't. It can.
Oh, it does. It definitely does.
It does.
It's just it's setting it up so that the injury is. Yes, because it was charged. Yeah, so he is setting it up that way. I mean, yeah, there is going to be the demo bonus, but he will be wounding on 2s. But injury roll will be a 5-up, and it's still at the end of the day, 4-up invuln. So.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to be doing turn 1 scoring here. ARH is going to score 1 for high-profile targets. He's also going to be scoring for Scout the Field.
Yeah, Scout the Field pretty much free for him here. Interesting thing to note, Luz did not have to spend any CP that round, so he's going to be going in round 2 for a CP, despite having the big deficit to start 2 to 5.
Rolling for initiative here. Okay, ARH gets it by 1.
That is a pretty big situation to get initiative. It's a lot of charges coming through.
Yeah, right. This Boss Knob demo is armed with just a Choppa, so I don't think he would want him to get stuck in combat.
Well, here's the thing about that model. Yeah, it just has a Choppa, but it's got 3 attacks base, so 4 with the Choppa. It's strength 5. So 4 attacks, strength 5, it's nothing to scoff at, even though there's no AP.
Yeah, it can tear through. And like the AP, it doesn't matter. But 2 of these models on the point here are racks anyway.
Yeah.
So, but he's better off charging first with his combat Boss Knob, trying to get him onto the Clavex with the big Choppa, and then getting the Boss Knob demo spec in onto those racks.
Oh, it looks like the Grot leader is on the move right now. I don't know where. Interesting to me that Luz opted not to go for any decisive move here, because I feel like it would have been pretty crucial, right?
Yeah, for sure. He does. Yeah, he's got a lot of CP, so he would be able to have, gotten a charge in and still have CP left over to, decisive strike or contest a decisive strike if he has to.
I don't know what it is they're rolling for right now. Oh, it looks like maybe he did decisive move. He's down to 2 CP again. I don't know if he just didn't give himself that. Oh yeah, it looks like he did end up charging at that rack. It didn't get hurt on Overwatch, so
Wow.
that is a pretty big spot. He's gonna lock up both of those knobs potentially.
Yeah.
And even if he
Yeah,
can't lock up
looks
this
like
one, he
it.
can. Yeah, I was gonna say even if he can't lock up the combat, he can block the way.
Wow, that's a great move.
Really good play there from Luce.
Yeah, we can see his Clavex get in on the demo now. His Combat Akathis get in on the demo knob. And then that Mandrake he's got back in his objective can just come up onto that middle point.
You know, Luz has always been one of my favorite players to watch play. I feel like he just consistently does interesting things. He just has a really good understanding of his function. He's a fun player to watch for sure.
Yeah.
I know not a lot of people are that thrilled watching Drukhari, but I think he does a really good job with the faction. And he's been, I mean, pretty much the most consistent Drukhari player in the TTS era. Probably like by far, honestly. Here comes that Orc Boy counter-charging. So they're just going to really pile onto that rack. The rack, funny thing is the rack and the Orc Boy. The rack is a pretty good comp against an Orc Boy just because, I mean, the Orc Boy is hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s against a rack. That's the exact same that the rack has against the Orc Boy. Except the Orc Boy has a 6-up save, whereas the rack has a 4-up invult. So people, when they think of racks, they usually don't think of, you know, good in melee, but they actually do quite well against Orc Boys, who are known for being pretty good in melee, strangely enough.
Also, turn 3, they become great melee models.
Oh yeah,
for their
turn
price
3
point.
comes around. They're smoking those Orcs.
Yep.
I think he was declaring a charge with this Orc Boy onto the rack, but I don't even think it fits through where that Gretchen is.
Yeah, that his leader might be body blocking there.
Oh, that's what that move was with the Gretchen. It was falling back from the charge.
Oh, retreating.
And when he,
okay.
Yeah, when he did so, it blocked that hallway.
Man.
I think that was avoidable too. I think he could have just hugged that wall a little bit more.
Yeah. This Orc Boy is going to open the door, it looks like.
I think so, yeah.
Looks like we're seeing an advance here. Big ol' advance.
13 inches. He definitely doesn't need that much for whatever it is he's trying to do, although this does open up some other possibilities. Like he could come down here, or, you know, there's this situation over here. I don't know where it is he wants to contribute. I will say though, if this Mandrake survives this round, I will be pretty surprised.
Yeah.
It's in some trouble.
It's about to get charged by 3 Orc Boys.
So I think they're doing it now. Here comes the Overwatch from the Mandrake. This would be a good time to get some hits now. Oh, nothing though. Charge is definitely getting in. Yep, that model is going to get swallowed up right about now.
Yeah. And this is the beauty of the shooty orcs, right? Is that they're still good in melee.
Yeah, I mean, they become really good flex models, and you can take so many of them. It just gives you as a player flexibility, which is what I really personally loved about playing it.
So do you think that Luz has spread himself too thin here?
Maybe a little. I mean, but it's not a situation that he can't fix because, I mean, I would say at this point you kind of give up this part of the board over here.
Yeah.
I think you kind of punch this, but because of the movement that these mandrakes have, he can still allocate resources over here and do a pretty good job of keeping up. And I think right now the position he's in the middle of the board is actually really good. So
yeah. He's got his Night Fiend leader over here, so possibly can contest this objective. Middle of the board, no doubt, will be his, at least for the remainder of this turn. Definitely salvageable.
for sure, yeah. I don't think either side has a major. It's gonna be interesting to watch. So here comes charges on this side of the board. So we're gonna see a little bit more Overwatch. I think he's considering whether or not he wants to charge the Night Fiend as well. Looks like he's not going to charge the Night Fiend, just the model directly in front of him. Here's Overwatch, nothing. So Luz hasn't even made a hit with any of his mandrakes this game so far.
That's all right. Turn 3, they'll be hitting. I promise.
Well, I would hope.
Not with their shooting.
Yeah, the shooting is where he's struggling. He hasn't had any issues hitting in melee so far.
No. Alright, we got a charge coming from the Night Fiend leader. That should be enough to get him onto either one of those orcs. So Luz has he's made his own Drukhari models in TTS, right?
I'm not sure. I mean, I think the bases are definitely unique. Actually, now that I think about it, the red mandrakes might be his specifically.
Yeah. Or at least, like, recolored them.
Yeah. So he's going to go ahead and countercharge with the leader there.
Yeah.
This is going to be an interesting dynamic over here. You could see a lead by example potentially from him. Although I have a stinking suspicion we might see a decisive strike roll off here, depending on what happens in the middle.
So interesting to know, the Night Fiend leader is only in, I guess we'll call it engagement range. He's only within an inch of one Orc boy. So the other Orc boy isn't going to get the opportunity to swing into him.
Oh, I think that's actually really smart from him. Oh, I think you've just disconnected, Ryan.
Uh-oh. All right. I'm gonna quit out before it gets the chance to DC me. All right, I'll be back in just a few seconds, chat. All right, I'm back in.
Good to know. So what we missed basically was the Klavex charged into that boss knob, and he's measuring Akathid combat, and I think what he's going to do is not move that model on, or rather not charge that model, but maybe use it as an up and atom candidate, possibly. And I love that he's charging the Klavex only into that demo because, like we mentioned earlier, it's just got a Choppa, which means 0 AP against the 2 wound Klavex with a 3-up save. So that's going to be a really nice mismatch there.
Yeah.
For in Lou's favor. And I bet he's going to move this Mandrake over into the middle to cover his bases there. And there he goes.
Yeah.
So I think really, really good plays being set up here for Luz. So I think he fired his pistol over into this grot over here and missed, unfortunately. Still no hits in the shooting phase for Luz.
Yeah.
I think after that we go right into unless maybe this Mandrake. I think he does actually. So this is going to be 2 shots on 5s because long range obscured. So this could potentially be a dead leader coming up.
Uh-oh.
What's going on?
I don't know. The entire wall section is now floating.
Oh, whoa. I think we're putting that back.
So, I just want to point out that the combat over on the right side, it's going to be pretty big. Luz is going to want to kill the orc boy who's closest to the pipe there, to prevent ARH from scoring Scout the Field this turn.
Yeah. That's something you got to keep in mind whenever you're playing on these packets, is not just scoring your own secondaries, but denying your opponents.
Two attacks from the orc boy into the rack.
So this is going to be pretty crucial. There's no decisive strike roll-off, so see how this goes. This wound's on a 4. He gets the wound, and now a 4-up invuln save. Luz here, and he gets it. And now Luz has some charges unless ARH decides to up and at him, which I don't think would be a good call right about now. I don't think you want to spend that on killing this rack.
No.
I mean, the nature of ARH's list here is that if Luz can get rid of... Oh, he's using up and at him.
He is up and at him.
Up and at them. I was just going to say the nature of his list is once you get rid of those knobs, it becomes... they kind of tilt towards Luz's favor. And I think a lot of that's going to come down to how these combats on the outside go for the Mandrakes. If the Mandrakes live, I think things could start looking really bad for the Orcs. Okay, that's 3 hits for the combat. This is all from the big choppa. He does get another attack with the choppa.
Yep.
I don't think he's using right yet. And these wound on 3s. So that's 2 wounds. And 2 4-up invulns for the rack. Makes them both.
Wow.
And he has one more attack with the choppa, so we'll see how that one goes. Fails to hit.
Whiffs.
Wow. So Luz needed that. So now I think we see Luz has to fight with this Night Fiend. He shouldn't be prioritizing the Clavex quite yet. Yeah, he's going to go for that. And this is an important one for him, because like you said, this is Scout the Field that he would be denying. 2 hits. Wounding on 4s here.
No
Oh,
wounds.
and he doesn't wound. Is he going to reroll that? I guess not. And now we're back to ARH, who has a few charges.
A few.
Yeah. Like 2 or 3, 4,
2,
maybe
3, 4,
5.
5.
Possibly 6. No, I think it's 5.
Yeah. I mean, if we want to get technical, it was 6 with that up and at him.
True.
Yeah, I'm really not liking that up and at him play. Just because he spent, well, not all his CP, but he spent a CP to fight into a model that's already fought and is really no threat to it. It's literally not a threat anymore. It already fought, so what's kind of the point?
Yeah. He could have maybe waited to see if this model lived, killed that model, and then maybe do an up and at him after? I don't know. It's a tough call. I don't think it was worth it.
All right, so this is from the Clavex Zealot into the Boss Knob demo.
It's 3 hits, so he's going to slow roll these. He's wound on 3s. He fails the first one. Ooh. Makes the second one, so that takes him down to 1 wound, because it's 1 damage. Hit, an AP3. And the third one is 1 damage as well, but it is going to be an injury roll, so 4 up to kill the Boss Knob here.
No.
Flash wound. Now, does he re-roll that, or does he use up? with his combat to come into within an inch here.
How much CP is up and Atom? Is it just one?
One, just the one. Yeah.
I would use Up and Atom because I'll still have 1 CP left over if I like if I need some sort of reroll.
Yeah.
So I think
Well,
that's what he's considering now.
What he could do also is wait until he gets. No, I think he's doing it now. Yep, that model's going in. He's spending the 1 CP on Up and Atom. And 4 attacks coming in. And I think he's just putting them into the boss knob with the flesh wounds. That's 3 hits. Wounding on 4s. Gets 1. And no armor save. 2 damage. Needs a 3.
You got it.
That's a dead boss knob there. That's pretty big swing.
Yeah.
And now there's nobody left to swing on this rack. So next turn, he can just fall back with that model. And these 2 orcs are kind of just left out in the dust. If he wants them to be.
Yeah, that was a big swing in this game.
Still a lot of charges left for the Orks, though.
Yeah. But I mean, like you said, Lose can afford to just lose this Mandrake over here.
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to pop up Swift and Deadly on that guy so that all these Orc boys are now hitting him on 5s. Once he finally does get swung on over there. So I think next it's, yeah, this Orc boy is going to swing on the Night Fiend leader. I think a mistake was made here by Lose. He actually forgot to pile in. I mean, not that he would have been able to get onto that objective anyway. And that's a wound on the leader. He doesn't get it. I think you spend the CP for the armor save here. It looks like he's just going to go for it. No, it doesn't get the feel no pain. Ooh, just a flesh wound, and I think ARH is going to reroll that. Yep. Here comes the Orc reroll.
What? Oh, it's a 6. It's a Loses
6.
leader is dead.
I would have liked to see a reroll there for that armor save. I mean, he's being really cagey with his CP.
So Loses down 2 models. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 remaining. Not a lot of bodies. Still, he's not that close to needing to make break tests for his models.
Yeah, no, he's fine on the as far as morale. It's tough to lose your leader.
Yeah.
And now let's see if he uses Swift and Deadly, because there's 6 attacks coming in. Looks like he just went ahead and rolled, hit with both. 1 wound. Doesn't get the armor save.
Is he re-rolling this? He is re-rolling.
No,
that's the feel no pain.
And he doesn't get it. Yeah, I don't know what he's saving this CP for. Honestly, it's...
Well, he just spent it on something.
No, he did apparently. Oh, you know what it was? He might be spending it on the tactic where he ignores the flesh wound and gets an extra attack this round. But this is all dependent on him surviving the next.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Oh, that's another hit. Wounds on a 3. That's a wound. Can he make an armor save here? This is huge.
He does. Okay. Wow. Okay.
The last Orc boy.
Yep.
Over here.
So this is really big.
Yeah. 1 hit. 1 wound. 5 up. I don't think he's getting this one.
No.
No. 6 up, healing up. No, this is a 3 up to kill. This is rough.
It's another flesh wound.
He's gonna continue to ignore those flesh wounds for this round. So
yeah. So that tactic, as soon as you take a flesh wound, you just ignore flesh wounds for the rest of the phase or the rest of the round. Is that correct?
Yeah. The rest of the phase. So he gets an extra attack. So he can attack all 3 of these models, but I think he's just gonna go for the ones on the point. So 2 and 2.
Yeah. So this tactic is called a taste of pain, right?
Yes. Oh God.
Completely whiffs.
That is rough.
Yeah.
He only rolled 2 dice. He definitely had more than 2 attacks.
Even
without taste of pain, he had 3.
Yeah, I think he put 2 and then he put 1. So I think he may have just forgotten the fact that he gets another attack from that tactic. Because I only saw him roll 3 dice. So that's it, right?
I think so. I mean, it's pretty shocking, honestly, how bad the mandrakes have performed for Luz here. They have whiffed every single time they've done anything.
And then the leader up and dies.
Yeah, and then the leader died. So Luz, again, is only going to hold 1. He's not going to deny those positional. So, I mean, holds 1 objective. He did kill that knob in the middle, which is a pretty big deal, and got a proximity alert. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Scores domination. Down 4 points going into turn 3.
Yeah, weirdly enough, it doesn't feel unwinnable though.
Yeah.
Like that turn could have gone a lot worse, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
So Luz wins initiative here. I don't know if he wanted to. Oh, maybe he.
Well, he did for the middle, right? You were talking about this earlier, wanting to fall back with the rack and just kind of leave the boss knob and the orc boy just standing there with the option to charge in with the combat acathist or the Klavex zealot. He should be up to he's just up to 1 CP, so it's kind of dangerous if ARH decides to pop a decisive strike in that instance. But once you put both those models into both of ARH's models, I think Luz is still going to come out on top in that exchange.
For sure, yeah. I think the Grot just wounded on over.
Yeah.
That is outrageous. Oh, and it's a 4-up, which he makes.
Okay.
Thank God for that.
This is the second time we've seen a Grot leader come so close to killing an enemy model.
Ooh, doesn't get that. He can re-roll it though, and it's a pretty safe re-roll, all things considered.
Yeah.
He's got some models really close that are. There we go, an 8. I don't know if that'll get him to that Grot. I think it will. Oh yeah. Oh, look, does he even want to get on the Grot?
Yeah, I honestly would leave the Grot be. I would rather swing on the... he's measuring for it. Yeah, you are right about that, Shane. If he didn't want to get stuck in with the Grot leader anyway, why declare a charge on him?
And the Klavex, I think, doing the same. He's going to re-roll it. He basically just needs to not roll a 2. Okay, a 6. You got to be careful, though, because, like we were talking about, the potential is there for a decisive strike, and Luz can't contest it anymore because his leader's dead. So I wonder, honestly, what he's going to spend that CP on. I wonder if he's going to keep this Mandrake in combat, knowing that he gets to fight. I mean, it'll be 3 attacks, and he can pop Gritted Teeth, so he'll be hitting on 2s.
Mm,
And then he can split on all 3, and you would hope that he at least gets one of them, right?
yeah. The dice got to come back at some point, right? Right?
Yeah, and here's an yeah. So assuming they all stay in combat, here's a cool play Luz could do that I don't know how many people would consider. Once he fights first, let's say he kills this orc boy.
Yeah.
And he piles into. I mean, yeah. Let's say he fights this orc boy and then he piles into this one after killing this one.
Uh-huh.
So I guess the correct word would be he fights this one, kills it, consolidates into this one, base to base,
Uh-huh.
but slightly on the point. He could contest this point, and this model, because it didn't get charged and it isn't in combat when he gets to activate a model,
Mm-hmm.
ARH wouldn't be able to move this orc boy at all, so he wouldn't be able to fight back with it. The only one he'd be able to fight back with is this one. So it would put Luz in a position to contest this point and deny a swing back from one of the orcs.
Mm. The ammo run is advancing. So 7 inches in total.
I think that's the Grot leader doing in advance. Probably
Yeah.
just gonna reinforce that objective over there. Likely so that he has room to move this or do something. Pop that door open. I think he could have just moved this boy down to open that door, and then done a move with this one, just to get a little bit farther. I don't know though.
Yeah, you're right about that. Maybe. But, like, if he were to open the door with that same model, which he opened the door with, he could have just moved it up to where that model is about now. Shave off those 2 inches. So let's see if that's enough for that orc boy to have shots lined up on the Mandrake.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Personally, it's a tough call.
We'll be eligible for Scout the Field, though, and that's important.
So. 1 inch to wall or edge. Let me check the FAQ we've got right here on the table. I don't know how. Why is this what's on here? That's not. I'm not too sure. I don't know what Matt ruled.
Oh, well, let's just ask him. Matt, if you're still in the chat, let us know how Scout the Field is scored in WWO, if it's within an inch of the wall or if it's within an inch of the actual physical board edge.
Oh, here we go. So, okay. It's the physical edge, as in the edge of the mat that the game's played on, so not the wall. Not like the arena wall, so not this or this. He found it.
Yeah.
Apparently that boy had a little bit more movement, so he moved him down. Now it definitely can see that Mandrake.
Yeah. And the
Probably
Mandrake can see him, which I think is what he wanted to avoid. Yeah, but then...
Oh, he's actually falling back with one of the Ork boys. Interesting. Don't know why.
Yeah, because he has initiative here, right?
No. Lewis has initiative.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, that was the
Mandrake just completely whiffing again.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Luz is getting diced here a little bit at this point. It is pretty ridiculous. Oh, but I guess, I mean, yeah, you expect the Ork boy to whiff there. You don't expect the Mandrake to go
No.
0 for 12 on shooting in the game.
Seriously.
On hits, too. It's not even like he's made it to the hit roll and failed to win. His Mandrakes and shooting have not hit yet. And there's the decisive strike, which we pretty much saw coming. The combat is going to get some swings in. Looks like probably on the Clavex, as well as on the Akthest. Still contemplating how to split these.
Alright, looks like that Akathist, or excuse me, the boss knob's going into the combat Akathist.
Yeah. Gets one hit. Wounds on a 3. Does not wound, and there's no rerolls here. Now 2 more into the Clavex. Oh, and they both whiff.
Wow.
This is huge for Luz.
Yeah.
And now he's got the Choppa still. I don't know who this is going into.
No one. It's going into no one. It's sailing right over their heads as they pirouette out of the way.
Yeah, I will say ARH can't complain too much just because of the performance of these Mandrakes has really benefited him.
Yeah.
So now I think this is the Akathist swinging back. Gets 4 hits. And only 1 wound, but AP -2. He will get a 6-up armor save because the knobs have a 4-up base save.
He makes it! Oh my god!
That is huge. That's 2 damage. Wow. Yeah, okay. ARH can't complain about dice at all this game. There's still the Clavex that can swing on that model.
Luz says, I am an onion cutting itself after that roll.
Understandably. Well, there's still the Clavex. Yeah. Probably all into that combat Akathist, just out of spite at this point.
Or into the combat specialist, yeah.
Or combat, yeah, boss knob, sorry. First one, does not wound. Second one, wounds 3 damage and AP 3, so that actually cuts right through. Yeah. No saving on this one.
Flesh wounds.
He's got a reroll. I think
He does.
he's gonna go for it. Yeah, he's.
Oh
he really wants to
man.
kill the boss knob.
Okay, he got it.
That
Oh
is,
my goodness.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
he
that
just the reroll a 3 damage injury roll.
that never happens. You never see that.
I got secondhand rage seeing those dice. Just everything from the 6-up armor save to the 3 damage whiff. Oh my god, and he still missed with one of those hits. Wounds on a 4. He has not wounded yet with a Mandrake in melee. It just hasn't happened. And he whiffs with the other hit. Holy crap. ARH with the plot armor this game. Holy crap.
What a freaking crazy game. Oh my god.
Well, here comes an Orc boy swinging on the Akathist. And of course he wounds. Why wouldn't he? And he fails to save. Here comes the Feel No Pain. Doesn't get it. The boy is about to kill the Akathist. This is disgusting.
I mean, the Akathist has done its work, right?
Yeah, but you need it to continue because you're out activated so much. You need it to still be there. And I mean, I guess really he should have put some attacks into that boy, just because the combat knob had already fought.
Right.
Oh my god, a wound from a Mandrake, and it cuts right through because it's AB1. Doesn't kill, of course. Why would it? He should still have another attack. He's been rolling 2 attacks with this Mandrake. I don't know what's going on here.
Okay, he's rolling.
Here comes the other. Hits on a 4 because of the 2 flesh wounds. Hits, wounds on a 4. It wounds. This guy's doing work right now.
No, he's not.
Flesh wound. Oh my god. Luz can't catch a break here.
He's taking his time with him. He's enjoying the combat too much. He doesn't want it to be over.
Yeah, it's about to be over. Well, okay, there does raise the possibility that some of these flesh wounded boys can actually shake. That is a thing. This boy over here hits the Mandrake and it wounds the Mandrake. Here's a 5-up save. He doesn't get it. 6-up Feel No Pain. He hasn't gotten a Feel No Pain yet. And that's a dead Mandrake. Yeah, this game is looking out of reach, and I can't say that it's anything that Luz has done. I do feel like he's getting
diced here.
He's getting diced really hard, and it is kind of a shame.
Do you think he would have had better success? The game's not over, but do you think that he would have had an easier time just by bringing a lot more racks instead of Mandrakes, or what's your take on that?
No, I think the Mandrakes were an okay call. I mean, I do prefer the racks, but I don't think that the Mandrakes are necessarily a bad play. I mean, I think that you expect some things to go your way, and not a lot has gone his way.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's a shaken Mandrake now. Now a Nerve Tusk coming in for this Orc boy. I think he needs a 5 or 6 to, of course, he rolls a 1.
Auto passes.
And the other boy passes as well. There could have been a bit of a snowball there if one of them shook.
Yeah.
It is hard not to get a little tilted watching this game, I'm going to be honest.
So ARH is going to score attrition here.
Yeah, for the first time, he actually got attrition this round. Again, Luz only holding 1.
He'll also get domination, and then I think he gets proximity alert again.
He does, yeah. He will get a proximity alert again. What was his third secondary?
I can't even tell you because I haven't been promoted since joining back in. I think it was domination, proximity alert.
Did he take attrition?
I think he also took attrition for some reason.
Well, I mean, I think it's a good play. You're playing
Yeah.
against a horde of orc boys. I like you would expect at some point to kill more, but
Yeah,
it's
orcs
just
die.
The dice have been really bad for him. The only 2 wounds any mandrakes have gotten for him in the game is this mandrake over here, and he got 2 flesh wounds.
So that mandrake's gonna get the charge onto the orc boy. Rack falls back onto the center point.
I don't know if there's a play for him. I don't think this is winnable.
Yeah. Because at most he could... He literally can't hold more. I don't think that's possible.
You can't get proximity alert without not getting attrition.
Yeah.
At this point, you'd rather just get proximity alert so you have another maxed secondary, but even then, you're not going to get the points you need to catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the max points you can get is 5. And that wouldn't be enough to catch up. So yeah, this game is a wrap. Right? They're playing. I don't know why they're playing it out because the points don't really matter.
At this stage in the tournament, you mean?
Yeah, they don't. Because once you've lost, you can't win. You can't, like, it's not like a normal Swiss. It's the top 2 are going to be the 2 undefeated teams regardless of points. For what it's worth, I mean, I think obviously I've made it clear. I think Lou's got diced this game. I don't think that this result is too indicative of his performance, but I don't think this game was without its mistakes. I don't think I would have advised setting up those matchups on the outside. Yeah, he was unfortunate with the dice, but I don't think it was a smart matchup to willingly put yourself into with one mandrake on either side fighting multiple orcs.
Yeah.
But it's hard to criticize too much just because of this could have gone right for him.
Yeah.
It's just the dice said no on the day. This guy's going for the long bomb charge. I don't think he got it. Came close. He re-rolled and I think he got it. Jesus. Unlikely that boy's going to do anything to the Clavex though. If anything, actually, that could be a
blunder.
Again, yeah, because it gives him the opportunity to get attrition and proximity alert, but it's not going to matter. We've already declared that he can only get 5 points, and that's not going to be enough to catch up.
Yeah, even if he kills both orc boys down here, ARH's team, I still don't believe is going to be close to shaking.
Yeah, I mean, even if he broke him and scored everything, and every model shook, the points just aren't. He can't get enough points to catch up. right. So as they wrap this up, I guess. I mean, it's definitely. I guess he's going for a decisive strike. I'm not sure that that's necessary.
Stop it, stop it. He's already dead.
And he whiffs. Swings back, gets 3 hits, 3 wounds.
Wow.
There's the wounds. That right there.
Now.
That Mandrake got more wounds in that single sequence than the rest of his Mandrakes combined the rest of this entire game.
At the end of the game, when it doesn't even matter, and he still has to CP reroll the injury roll.
Yeah. And then he'll move in just to get proximity. Although at this point, I think I just want blood, right? Like you just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just they're playing out of spite right now.
Yeah.
Not towards each other, just towards the game itself. Lose models are popping off right now.
Yeah, and that's a dead orc boy. And maybe if he's lucky, he can pass this guy and get proximity. Oh no, he doesn't get proximity alert like that. So yeah. Just rolling it out. I think I don't know what they're figuring out right now. Yeah, okay. I think we can hop over into their voice chat for the stream.
Cool.
And get some words from the players.
Oh, hi.
All right.
Hello there.
So we are in with ARH and Lose. Good game, guys. I know it took a while for us to get the game going, and we apologize to the stream for that, but thanks for hanging in with us.
Of course.
Congrats on the win, ARH.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm living on borrowed time with this luck I've had with my opponents.
No. You can't count on rolls. So
No,
my bad wound rolls doesn't mean anything. You played well, so you take the win, and you deserve it.
I'll take it, but I still feel after yeah, it's I won't I feel a little dirty, but I won't take a shower.
I mean, yeah, I think I was mentally broken after the comeback. This failed to wound on the two up wound roll on the grot.
Yeah, that was the moment.
So okay, I wanted to ask you, Luz, first. Can you walk us through the muster? I mean, you obviously you opted to go a little heavier on the mandrakes than the racks. We kind of expected you would go heavier on the racks. Do you want to talk us through that?
I was actually really betting on him to bring the 12-man team. I want to go with the killy team, the shooty team that's better at shooting than his team, because his team can both do melee and shooting, having shooters and 2 attacks melee. So I figure if he brings the 12-man, I'd be in an okay spot. I think I would have been in an okay spot if my wound rolls were a little better, but He brought the 14-man list, which is actually the one thing I was afraid of the most, which made me then wish I brought my 11-man list to have more control over the board. But
Yeah.
he got me good with that one, so he was smart enough to bring more bodies. But yeah, I was just going for I'm gonna murder the middle, preferably if everything works out, and then kind of shift to one side. But things weren't working out over here.
Yeah.
We noticed that the mandrakes were pretty. They weren't up to the task today.
Yeah, they didn't do anything. I think this Mandrake was finally the last one to do something in the third round, and then he shook anyways.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan,
but-
you got anything?
Basically, so what was the 11-man roster that you were thinking of bringing? What consisted of that? Was that like Rax, or was like primarily Rax, or was it a mix of Mandrakes and Rax, or?
It would have more. I think I would either drop 1 or 2 Mandrakes and then
Uh-huh.
add like 3 or 4 or 5 racks somewhere around there. But yeah, it'd have more racks, and I do think that probably would have been better. Fun for opening the doors, and 2 for just having the bodies to have like this be contested or
Yeah.
controlled first round instead of having to hope that my leader can kill and not get killed, which he did.
Yeah.
But it was still amusing, other than the whole stream issues.
Yeah.
It was so bad, it was too amusing to really be mad at it. But also, ARH is a great guy, so it made the game fun.
ARH, I actually wanted to ask you. I know I've noticed in your previous games, a lot of the games that I've seen, you've opted to go 3 knobs and a lower model count, but this game you opted to go the 14 model list. Can you talk us through that decision?
Yeah, I guess I was really thinking, and for me, it's with an invuln saves, like it's not as important for me to have that. The other vet I usually take would be a big knob with a choppa, big choppa, excuse me, and just the extra damage in that doesn't really do me as much good against the invulns with the feel no pains and everything. So I just thought take more bodies, because at this, I mean, my whole game plan was basically because of the no doors through the middle, like immediately you were in the enemy's face. I wanted him to get bogged down fighting knobs and not notice that I was running around with boys everywhere else. I mean, obviously you noticed, but it was kind of a distraction thing. So
Yeah. Well, hey, it seemed to work out for you. I mean, dice or not,
right.
I think that 14 model list is a really strong one. It's pretty close to stuff that I've ran in the past. So props to you for that win. The Orks are super strong in this, so congrats for making top 4.
It's they're scary strong in this model. We'll still have to see how any of us fare against a bunch of shield drones, but
or a bunch of Blackstone Fortress models.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm out of questions. Shane, are you tapped out for questions?
I think I'm pretty much set. That was a fun game to commentate.
Yeah, it was a fun game to commentate. A lot of good plays on both sides. Very entertaining. Thank you to everybody who's watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and we will see you all later.